Hi everyone, I'm Jorisar and this is the battle report for Kongdoo Panthera versus Mighty AOD. Both teams come into the last match of Group A with the possibility of moving into the round of 8. Panthera only need to win one map to guarantee this, while AOD has the much tougher task of needing to sweep Panthera to move on. Let's see how the match unfolded. Starting out on Lijiang Tower on the Garden submap, the pharmacy composition from Kongdoo Panthera faced down the 2-2-2 of AOD. Rascal managed to land an early environmental kill with his concussive blast, giving Kongdoo the first cap, but the control would be short-lived as we saw it flip control back and forth numerous times. AOD looked to be in a fine position, limiting the impact that Rascal and Luffy could have, focusing Luffy down early and often during team fights. With the final fight breaking the 99% tie, it was Void's D.Va that made the difference, finding the first kill with the bomb and then following up with Waka Waka's sound barrier to clear the point and take round 1. Kongdoo continued with a strong start on Control Center, with Birdwing's Tracer largely unaccounted for in the early stages of the round. They built over 70% before it all began to fall apart, as AOD took control with their own fantastic Tracer play from DM and went on to full reverse the control point for their own round victory. Luffy's day continued to deteriorate as the Zenyatta for Kongdoo Panthera, losing his life first as the team fights began without any support from the rest of his team to peel for him. AOD not only noticed the vulnerable supports, but tunneled them throughout the night market round, taking the map point decisively with a strong first step towards their round of 8 dreams. On to Numbani, AOD started off on the offense with their triple DPS composition pushing into the triple tank defense of Kongdoo. The defense repelled the first attack well, with Fisher's Winston finding the squishy backline, but on the second attempt, point A fell to AOD. Kongdoo regrouped throughout the streets phase, looking to stabilize, but overinvestment of ultimates left them weakened during the next attempt when Erster unleashed his Dragon Blade to find 3 kills. Fully on pace now, AOD were not denied the third point, and dared Kongdoo to try and match their performance. AOD's Torbjorn defense never got a chance to Molten Core, losing control of point A on Kongdoo's second offensive attempt. Although Rascal's Pharah had some questionable decisions during streets, Kongdoo made up for their lack of a defensive performance with a breakout offensive turn, blazing to the third point by chewing through the not-so-mighty AOD defenders with a massive wave of ultimates, including Whole Hog, Nano Visor, and Earthshatter. With a second round forced, AOD only had 1 minute left to make their mark. A lightning-fast capture of point A was followed by an overtime push through streets that only ended once Void's D.Va bomb found 2 kills. This gave them the opportunity needed to defend against Kongdoo Panthera's upcoming 3-minute time bank. With their fate still in their hands, AOD's defense could not manage to burn much time off of Kongdoo's massive time bank, and resigned themselves to making their stand along the streets of Numbani. Kongdoo's high-octane offense would not be shut out though, and as the cart got closer, AOD got more desperate with their respawning members simply trying to contest the cart at all. Panthera therefore had no issues dealing with the staggered respawns and secured their spot in the round of 8 with the single necessary map point. The stakes may have decreased, but the series went on. The Kongdoo Panthera offensive juggernaut picked up where they left off, capitalizing on the absence of AOD's DPS, who were both hunting down Panthera's Widow at the cost of point A. Destroying their own momentum though, Kongdoo swapped to their 3 support offensive composition, which only managed to sacrifice the bulk of their time bank. Multiple comp changes later, and after suffering endless early picks on their support players from DM's Tracer, Kongdoo finally pulled it together in overtime with yet another hero play from Void's D.Va, landing a bomb kill, finishing another with his jet charge, and 2 more the old-fashioned way, gunning them down and putting the second point on the board. With their own Widow in tow and forcing the Kongdoo defense to reposition, AOD sent in Fate's primal raging Winston to lock down Rascal's Dragon Blade in close quarters, and then made use of the chaos on the point with Erster's Widow on cleanup duty. The pace crawled from there on out once their snowball attempt was foiled, and 4 minutes turned into 1 remaining with very little action from the offense. With an almost full bank of ults and yet still outnumbered by the defensive side's bank, AOD made their final move. But the push was spoiled before it ever truly began because Rascal's Nanoblade killed both supports before they walked through the front door. Tasked as defenders yet again on Dorado, AOD's 2-2-2 dive misstepped early against Birdring's Widow, losing valuable ground but managing to stop the cart just before the first checkpoint after they regrouped. Relying mostly on poke picks, Kongdoo failed to manage their time efficiently after their initial success, and when they finally came up with the plan of attack, they lost the critical piece in the form of Luffy's Transcendence, dead early yet again, this time to Ersta's Dragon Blade, which was used specifically against Zenyatta. With the full hold secured, AOD moved over to the attacking side, sticking with the 2-2-2 dive against the now tank-heavy formation of Kongdoo. In no time at all though, Ersta had earned his Dragon Blade and dealt maiming damage to the support players, turning his attention afterwards to any remaining defenders he could find, while his team claimed the point and their second map point to tie the series. Kongdoo treated us to a surprise defensive composition on Eichenwald, with a Torbjorn turret protected by a D.Va, a Reinhardt and even an Orisa on the balcony overlooking the point. The turret seemed immortal during initial teamfights, forcing AOD to first try the Pulse Bomb, but only for Molten Core to sustain it. They then invested a D.Va Bomb to finally take out both the Orisa Bongo and the turret, while Fate's Primal Raging Scientist battered the players in the cabin. With Point A captured after extensive investment on both resources and time, Ersta showed up yet again for his team, making the best of his Dragon Blade on the ramparts by killing 3 and making up for lost time with a speedy second checkpoint capture. With the cart moving at max speed, overtime quickly caught up with the AOD offense, but Kongdoo still needed to clear the cart. Unexpectedly and against the odds, it was Ersta and Fate who were the playmakers for the umpteenth time for Mighty AOD, keeping overtime alive and contributing 3 kills each to send the cart all the way home. On the other side, Kongdoo Panthera got cheeky at first, sending their pharmacy wide to the right and attempting to flank the defense, but the cleverness quickly turned to desperation as the time-consuming attempts wore their time bank thin. At 2 minutes remaining, they found Purchase on the point. Birdring and Rascal took care of the respawns to finalize the capture of A, and the cart was on its way, soon to be on the bridge itself. Birdring, on the Tracer, and the always aggressive D.Va of Void achieved 2 kills each to get within meters of the second checkpoint, only to have their members on the cart get picked off too quickly for anyone else to continue overtime, ending the series 3-2 in a surprise result for Mighty AOD. With the group stage now behind them, Kongdoo Panthera move on to the round of 8 for the first time in 3 Apex seasons. If you've enjoyed the video, please don't forget to subscribe by clicking here, and you can watch the next video by clicking here. Thanks for your likes and comments in the meantime, and don't forget to share. I'll see you for the next match.